17. I'm going to have a senior this year, guys. Oh my gosh! Basically kindergarten through 4th grade in 1 year, and they started to teach themselves math. And guess what? Are you homeschooling your kids, or maybe thinking about homeschooling your kids and want to know what in the world is available in Tarrant County? Well, guys, my name is Dana Pollard. I'm a real estate agent, and I was putting a list of the best school districts, public school districts in the area, and I thought, well, what about these homeschool families? Guys, I've been homeschooling my kids for 10 years now. I have 3 kids, 13, 15, and almost 17. I'm going to have a senior this year, guys. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. And I can't believe we've homeschooled almost the whole time except 1 year in public and 1 year in private, and found that homeschool is the best option for our family. But it's crazy because we're here now, guys. So I want to share with you the options that you have in Tarrant County. There are 5 main options, and I did record a video of your different options and explained them a little more thoroughly. So if you want to know that, click on this video to learn more about the different options. But let's get right into it. So the first option really is to homeschool completely on your own, which means a lot of research and planning on your part, but it's also the most tailored for your child. It can also be the cheapest way to homeschool your kids, especially with the myriad of options online for free material, especially in the elementary years. So you can do that, researching all the different curriculum. I'll put a link below for websites that have different options. The second option you have is to send your kids to a program, like a 1 to 4 day week program. What we do is we send our kids to Classical Conversations, if you've ever heard of that. It's a 1 day a week program. We love it. We've been there for like 5 years and haven't deviated other than the private and public school 1 year. But what happens is, like, my kids get the instruction as well as discussion among other classmates about what they've learned that week. So it's all planned out for you. They have a curriculum guide. All you do is follow the curriculum guide. And all that planning, piece of cake. What I love about these 1 to 4 day programs, because there's some like really amazing 2 day programs, like seriously amazing. But what I love is most of them are Christ-centered, which is important to me, as well as the curriculum is outstanding. Some of the many of the 2 day a week options are university model, which means they're preparing them for college, right? And that's very important to me as well. So some of your options are Classical Conversations, 1 day a week. I may talk a little more about Classical Conversations because we're involved in it. One thing I wish they had that they don't have is much SAT or ACT prep. And so when you're a homeschool family, I've talked to college admissions, when you're a homeschool family, the grades that you report, or the transcript grades, are not that important. Now you have to do it, but the SAT or ACT score has so much more weight on it than their grades, and so it's very important to me, or it can be for you, to prepare your kids for college. Really, you need a high SAT or ACT score for scholarship purposes. So I wish Classical Conversations had that, but they don't, although you can collaborate with other moms on that. And then with Classical Conversations, there's a lot of gray area when it comes to grading. So when your kids are in high school, it's like, how do you grade? I don't know, how do you issue a grade for writing, right? So those are just some of the not so good things, but overall, I love Classical Conversations. I wish I would have started sooner, and it's definitely recommended to go with Classical Conversations. A 2 day a week program, it actually can be 2 or 4 days a week, is Trinity Prep. And I know a lot of kids, a lot of families that go to Trinity Prep. It's in Keller, Texas, and it's a university model, and people love this school. So they have their 2 day core program where students take classes 2 days a week in math, language arts, science, and history. They do make sure that the kids meet state standards, and so it's really, really good. So Trinity Prep is a great school. I'll put the link in the comments below so you can do a little more research. Also, we have Alliance Christian Academy in the area. This again, you have 2 day options, 3 day options. It's a very strong university model. I have had friends that kids go there and they say there's a lot of homework, but it's very high academics. We also have Cornerstone Leadership Academy, which is 2 days a week for elementary, 2.5 for middle schools and up. You have Gracewood Academy in the area. It's in Bedford, 2 to 4 days. I really like the vision of Gracewood Academy, especially if you're in the Mid-Cities area. You also have Legacy Classical Christian Academy, which is in Haslett. So all that to say, guys, I'll put the links below where you can do a little more research on them, and also depending on what area of Tarrant County you live. But there are many options for 1 to 4 days for homeschoolers. And by the way, even though I may not have experience with all of these, they came highly recommended to all my Facebook friends. Thank you very much. So I know that there are plenty of people who love all these options. Now listen, if there's a school that maybe your kids attend that's not on the list, just put them in the comments below and help your other homeschool families out. So your third option for homeschooling is a co-op. Now I've heard nothing but amazing things about co-ops. This one, a friend of mine said Sonlight Christian Enrichment classes. It's a co-op, and when I looked them up online, I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? So Sonlight Christian Enrichment classes, there is a Sonlight curriculum, but you don't have to do Sonlight curriculum to be involved in this Sonlight Christian Enrichment classes. In fact, I don't even know if they're affiliated. But this is what's really cool, is it's parent taught, and you would be amazed at how smart these parents are. Way smarter than me. So I'm telling you, you have experts when you're meeting up with other homeschool moms, and I'm not one of them, but these homeschool moms are amazing. Many of them have degrees and have taught in the past, and so it's really a good thing to co-op with other parents and learn from them. So this is what I think is beautiful about Sonlight, is the cost of these classes are very low, but the caliber of teachers are very high. And so when you come together with other homeschool families, it really helps out. So I'm gonna read some of this. So this is what Sonlight says on their website. It says at least one parent per family must be present during the time of class, attending class. And so you're either helping the teacher out or helping the students out. And so everyone contributes, and they said that there's like a 5-period day. So some people come for one class and some families come for all day. It says a parent must teach a minimum of one class or may elect to serve on the cleaning crew. I would be on the cleaning crew. So during the hours a parent is not teaching, he or she will serve as an assistant in the classes. I love this idea. Hey, if you're in the area, check out Sonlight. Okay, the other thing that you can do, another option, the fourth option you have, is for your kids to take individual classes. Now, we did this last year, even though we were doing classical conversations for Grayson, my oldest. He wanted to take an actual chemistry class that graded all his papers for him. And so he did that at Dominion Equippers. Dominion Equippers, you can take one class or as many classes as you like, and you just pay per class. It's a legit teacher. They grade the paperwork, which is awesome, and they hold the kids accountable. So I love Dominion Equippers for that. You also have the Center for Home Education in Watauga. We have taken actually theater classes here for Jocelyn, our daughter. But there are so many, I've heard nothing but good things about them. I've heard that the math instruction is great. One thing that I've noticed about homeschool families is if they don't take classes, many homeschool families fall behind in math when they start getting into the upper years. And so one thing that I've heard really good things about is the math tutor up at Center for Home Education, getting those kids caught up. Guys, we're not gonna be perfect in our homeschool, but there are resources. And then also in the area is, I guess they call it TAFA, T-A-F-A, Travis Academy of Fine Arts. I just heard about this. I just found it online thanks to my homeschool friends. And this option is amazing because it's mostly for the, not mostly, they have other classes like math as well, but for the fine arts, these classes are pretty dang inexpensive. I mean, they can take violin, they can take voice, they can take guitar. All these classes for homeschoolers, I think is amazing. So click that link below to find out what your kids can do there. All right, so your fifth and last option, hey, there may be other options I don't know about. If so, put them in the comments. But the last option is your kids can take online classes. And so I've heard really good things about the K through 12. It is a free public school online education with teachers, and they grade the papers and they watch videos. Some people really love this option. If you maybe want a Christian-based school, there are online, this one someone put is Enlightium. If I can homeschool, anybody can homeschool, okay? Enlightium Academy. It's a Christian online fully accredited school. I checked them out and thought they were amazing. It can be costly, but hey, to get a fully accredited online curriculum, it's way cheaper than a private school, and you have the flexibility. Maybe your kid's in a special sport or dance like 5 days a week. You can take these online classes with Christian-based, they have Bible included. That's pretty sweet right there. So guys, you have many options. I want to give you a couple of tips, especially if you're new at homeschooling, is that this is one thing I learned throughout the years is every kid is going to end up with educational gaps. And guys, this isn't just exclusive for homeschoolers. Public and private school students, there's just too much knowledge in the world for your student to learn everything. Even if you do your very best, every student's going to have educational gaps. So one of the things that I decided, or when I really discovered that, my one big goal for homeschooling my kids is that my kids would learn how to teach themselves. That's my biggest goal. And we've accomplished that because if my son went to college today, he'd be fine. He'll teach himself anything he wants to know. And so that was my big thing. If I can't give them everything in education, can I give them the tools in which he can learn anything? So maybe you want to adopt that philosophy. I'm super excited that my older ones really have that down. Like, they're not going to have an excuse the rest of their life to not learning or knowing something. Also, one of the little tips, a little side note, I'll probably put this in another video too, is in those early years, in those elementary years, guys, don't stress about not covering all the subjects or keeping up with the public schools. You would be amazed at how much your kids are really learning at home, even if you don't have this amazing curriculum. And so I discovered this because I did put my kids in public school in Keller ISD, which at Eagle Ridge has a great school, guys. Eagle Ridge is very high on the charts. And I put my kids in 1 year and I was terrified. I was terrified to be found out that I didn't do very much with my kids. So the only thing I was focused on for like 1st and 2nd grade is that my kids would learn to read and read really well, which meant we neglected other things. So I didn't have a math curriculum. I did teach them money and time and all those little things, but I didn't have a math curriculum. I did teach them their multiplication tables with flashcards, but I was terrified to send my kids and found out they really were not that far behind. There were a couple of things that they were behind in or missed, but then they were advanced in many other ways. So what I want to do is take that fear and stress off of you to freak out in those early years, because your kids will pick up way more than you realize. Focus on reading, writing, and arithmetic. And again, it can be very basic. What I did is in 4th grade for math is once my kids were reading really well, then I handed them a Saxon 5-4 book, which is basically kindergarten through 4th grade in 1 year. And they started to teach themselves math. And guess what? My son is a senior and he still to this day teaches himself math. So maybe it's a boring curriculum, yeah, but it doesn't matter because he learned how to teach himself math. So that's just a little nugget. I don't know if it helps you or not. I just don't want you to stress out or freak out if you feel like your kid's getting an educational gap. It doesn't mean we don't, move forward and try to fill it, but it just means that, hey, every kid's gonna have them, and that every homeschool is not perfect. Just like public and private. There's no perfect school out there. Guys, thanks for watching, and watch these next videos coming up, and have a great day.